Hi everyone, this is Professor Benjamin, and this is our week roundup for week 5 of this class. So yes, we've already have completed 5 weeks of this class, and we're moving into week 6. So your sustainability forms were due by Wednesday and Friday last week, and for the most part, they were really well written. There's two big issues. Number one, more than 6 people are answering each question. So it looked like there were only 3 major questions answered this week, which was demanding ethical products, IKEA, Walmart. And so a lot of other people shied away from the other questions asked. I just want to let you know that as we move into this week, if starting this week, if more than 6 people answer the same question, I'm going to give you a 0 if you're after that 6th person. So remember, there's always a time date stamp on all of your posts. So if you wind up being the 7th person to answer the same question, I'm going to have to give you a 0. Okay, so it's to your advantage to get in early, answer a question. If you see a question you really like to answer, look at that question, make sure you get in early to answer it. For all of you people who wait until Wednesday, 10 o'clock at night, to make your forum posts, then you're going to be the ones that have to go through and read all of the posts that your other classmates have made and make sure that 6 people haven't answered the question that you're about to answer. If 6 people have already answered that question, then you're going to need to move to the next question. Okay, I can't have more than 6 people answering the same question because number one, people start copying the same information. Number two, as a professor, having 36 students in an online class, first of all, is a large amount of students. Second of all, I get sick of reading the same thing over and over again. So that is why only 6 students are allowed to answer each question. The other detail is some people are still using I in their posts unless the question specifically asks for your opinion. In my opinion, I think, I believe, I saw, I read. All of those should not happen in initial posts. Now, in response posts that can happen, but not in initial posts. So unless the question specifically says, in your opinion, or do you believe, then you can answer with that. If it doesn't, then no I statements in initial posts, okay? For the most part, everyone did a good job answering. There is a question on fair trade, and there is a question on sustainability on the midterm exam. So, for the most part, everyone did a really good job on the content. So a couple things coming up that I really need to discuss with you. By the end of this week, which is February 26th, this week we're covering food. Number one, it is required that you have watched the film Food Incorporated. It is watch instantly on Netflix. It is available at your local libraries. It's available on YouTube in some locations. You can get your hands on this film, and I'm telling you, it's not an awful film. It's a pretty good film that really details where your food comes from, and it contains knowledge that you should know about our food systems in the United States. Okay, so I promise you, you will not be disappointed in the film. I think it's a wonderful film. You need to have watched that to answer your forum post questions. The other reason you have to have watched that is because on the midterm exam, there is a question worth like 3 out of the 20 points, which is a lot of points. That will deal with the film Food Incorporated. Okay, so this week you have due an initial post by Wednesday, a response post by Friday, your food quiz due by Sunday, and also your project proposal due by Sunday 11:59. So if you look here in our consumption project, right here, your proposal is due by February 26th. Here are videos about the project, an example of how you're going to make your image when your draft is due. But right now, you just need a proposal. And this consumption project explains to you what you need to do. You need to download the form, you need to fill it out, and then you need to submit it to me, okay? If you submit to me something that's incomplete, then you already have lost points towards your final project. So it's absolutely essential that you take time right now to really think about what you want to do your project on. What's the statistic you're going to use? You need to make sure you have a clear statistic that says, how you want to break it down per second, per minute. And this project video gives you all the details that you need in order to complete that project. Okay, so that's due by February 26th. The other thing that you need to start preparing is for your midterm exam, because by March 5th, which is the Sunday before spring break, we're going to cover air that week. Okay, and then you have your midterm exam at the end of the week. Now, I haven't decided yet. I think what I might do is take if you scroll down here at the end of food, there is your review for your midterm exam right here. You want to open up that midterm exam review and you want to start writing out the answers to each of the questions in at least a paragraph for each answer, okay? And then what's going to happen is when the midterm exam comes, you can copy and paste your information into the midterm exam. I'm just going to warn you now, students all the time wait until the last minute and what they do is they try and type out a paragraph for each of the 15 to 20 questions on the midterm and they run out of time. You get 2.5 hours, one chance to take the midterm exam, okay? And if you do not prepare before the midterm exam, you will run out of time. So it's absolutely essential that you prepare for the midterm before the exam. In fact, really, the midterm is actually writing out all of the answers. And then what you're doing is going to copy and paste those answers into the midterm exam. So really the time that you're going to prepare for your midterm is before the exam. Okay, and if you look here, here's the review for the midterm exam. And you're going to write out a paragraph for each question asked, at least a paragraph answer. So if the question says, what is commons? Commons are a shared space. A commons could be a large area such as any air, water, land, or a commons could be a small space such as a city park. And then you have to just cite, and I don't mean like cite in proper MLA formatting, but say Tragedy of the Commons PowerPoint. Because I need to know where you're getting your information from, because a lot of students try, and especially in the story of stuff question, type in the internet, what is externalization of costs? And then they give me externalization of costs, which was not covered in the film story of stuff. So that's why I specifically ask you for where you've gotten your information from, because it's absolutely essential that you type where you got your information from. It doesn't have to be proper MLA formatting, but it needs to at least be at the end of the post. And you'll see here, review for the midterm exam. So you want to start preparing for that, okay? Because that will be due, your midterm will be due by March 5th, okay? By March 5th, right here. I haven't decided yet, but I think I might make the air forum extra credit, okay? It's not going to be worth a lot. It might be worth like, I don't know, 0.2 points or something like that towards your final grade, but it'll give students a chance to submit a little bit of extra credit. I'm not really an extra credit person, so this will be the only chance you get for extra credit this semester, okay? So I might do make the air forum next week extra credit. Now, it doesn't mean that you will not be accountable for all of this information on your final exam, because you will be accountable for all of air on your final exam. It's just meaning that I'm giving you a little extra time to prepare for your midterm, which is due by March 5th. Okay, and then we get spring break, so we get a little time off. I'll have time to grade everything. I'll get your project proposals back to you. I'll have all the midterm exams graded over spring break week, so I'll have a lot of that information back for you. All right, but this week we're covering food. You have your by Wednesday 11:59 you have your initial post due. By Friday 11:59 you have your response post due. Then you have a quiz due on Sunday, February 26th by 11:59. You also have your project proposal due by February 26th. In the meantime, you need to start preparing for your midterm exam, which is due by March 5th. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff coming up. You just need to be, if you have everything written out and you're using your time management skills, you can complete everything that I'm asking you to complete. You just need to spend some time. So I'm shocked that I don't have more project proposals, because you could have submitted it anytime up until February 26th. So you know, if you have a couple minutes, I don't know, I don't have off tomorrow, but if you have off from work tomorrow, maybe use some time to write up your project proposal, okay? But you want to take some time and really look at what you have coming up in the next couple weeks and allot your time accordingly, okay? But right here is that review for the midterm exam, and I want you to spend a lot of time writing out the answers before the midterm exam. Remember, again, if you do not write out the answers before the midterm exam, you will run out of time during the midterm exam, okay? And that will not be good. All right, so this week you have to really buckle down, write out work on that review for your midterm, your project proposal. Next week, I think I'm going to do that. If you've noticed, I have removed the air quiz, and I am going to the air forum I'm going to use as extra credit, okay? So that's a little bit of a breather coming up, but I just really need you to take some time and buckle down for the next, until March 5th, and then we have spring break. And then I'm going to open climate change, so if over spring break you want to work on some stuff, you could do that. All right. So have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed the beautiful weather today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you need help preparing for your midterm exam, Cedric is available. So is Eileen Abrams in the Learning Lab. And both of them, if you look under here, under the announcements tab, sorry to scroll up so fast, but under announcements, it'll give you the information that you need for Cedric. Okay. So please begin preparing for the midterm exam. All right. Remember, if any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a wonderful night.